Hey everyone, it's Jackie from the On a Water Break podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. I am hanging out with Bobbey from Showday Designs. We just rolled in from Dayton. Hey Bobbey, how's it going?
Eight off the mat and go. Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in.
It's time for a water break.
Hi, Jackie. We sure did just roll in from Dayton. It was a great, long, emotional, chaotic
God, yes.
few days, but we had a blast, didn't we?
It's true. Oh my gosh, that booth that you had set up in the expo tent where you had all the Showday Designs costumes set up, and then like the sponsored On a Water Break section where I got to hang out most of the night. Loved it.
I like to think that was, I mean, not to pat all of ourselves on the back, but I like to think that was a bit of a highlight. I think that a lot of people were very excited about what we were doing, and more so the fact that we were taking the time and the opportunity to highlight and honor and give flowers to the young performers, to their staff, their designers. I like to think that that was really the spirit and the moment. That was the moment.
Was this your first time doing something like this at WGI?
Really it was.
It was mine too, so I'm just wondering.
This was our company's first time as a gold level sponsor. Hey, insert Jeremy's sound effect here. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that Joe Heininger from Showday Designs, Jeremy, and we all sat down together and sort of, workshop this idea. And it was so successful. Unfortunately, Joe wasn't able to be with us. He missed flights, and it was just so chaotic in that way. I know, but I know that he is very happy and very proud of the work we did in the booth that weekend. I mean, and we did what we aimed to do, which was, again, to tell stories, to meet people. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Question goes, and it was a blast. It really was a blast.
It was so fun. I love connecting with like all of our fans and all the followers and just like getting to talk to people. Seriously, Jeremy kept saying like, "Hey, do you want to go watch this show or this show?" And I was like, "Can I just hang out in the booth for like another hour or two? This is fun." So behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh.
So much
there? Happening. Let's talk about the text message that I got from Jeremy. I was up in the sponsor lounge, and just so we know, WGI Sport of the Arts treats their sponsors like gold. So thank you to WGI for being so wonderful to your sponsors. So we had the privilege and the honor of being able to sit up in that. Jackie, you were up there, I think, a couple times. Mm-hmm. That beautiful space with that great vantage point. And they fed us, and it was just wonderful. And being able to connect with other vendors and sponsors was really great. But I was up there watching, I don't even know, I don't know what day it was, the second day, whatever the second day was, Friday, I suppose. And I get a text from Jeremy, a message from another vendor that the big gust of wind, because Jackie, as always in Dayton, the weather is unpredictable.
Oh, yes.
In mid-April. So the wind had come through and blown our like 14 mannequins over like dominoes. They went down. These poor girls and guys. And can I just say, and I said it before and I'll say it again, a big thank you to our friends in the tent, where we may be rivals or competitors in the marching retail world, but no, we're all family. So many of the vendors, there's like so many based out of Philly. We have the A Wish Come True people. We have the Field and Floor people. We have the Style Plus people. Showday. So like, and then even Jeff from Director Showcase. Like, so many people came to our rescue. Carol from Field and Floor. So thank you to them for coming to our rescue. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like none of us were there at the time,
You
and like
weren't.
we didn't know what was going on. And then, like, what do? Sometimes your booth is just unmanned, and you never know what's going to happen. So it's awesome
I
that
know.
everybody
So,
came together, though.
so that yes, thank you to our friends. I like to say we're a family in the tent. We are really are a family, and we do in
It's
a
true.
way look out for each other. So yeah.
Well, one of the awesome things about having our booth there was that we got to conduct live interviews with people and talk to different people
Amazing.
about different things. Ricardo was on it. I mean,
Killed it.
he was seriously, he was there for almost every single interview that we're gonna
He was
that
giving
we're gonna do
Oprah the
today.
whole weekend.
He was. Oh my gosh. So so then not only did he like do all these live interviews while we were there, but then he also came back and did some recorded interviews after WGI so
Right.
that we had more time to talk to some of the different people who couldn't come by the booth while we were there, things like that. So this first one I'm really excited about because it's Dartmouth.
Amazing. Jackie, I mean, we've all loved and have admired Dartmouth. Their band program, their drum line is always iconic, but their color guard is such a special group. And so I know that Ricardo had a chance to chat with Addison, who is the director designer of the Dartmouth color guard program, and Jesse. I mean, who doesn't love Jesse? Jesse's incredible. So we're going to have a chance to listen to Addison and Jesse from Dartmouth, who are also, by the way, Showday Design clients. And we're gonna have a chance to listen to them chat with Trish. So let's take a moment and listen to Trish from On a Water Break chatting with Addison and Jesse from Dartmouth.
And Ricardo.
I'm Ricardo.
I am so excited for our first guest this week. We have Addison Kaeterie and Jesse Walker from the Scholastic Open finalists, Dartmouth High School. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hi, Ricardo. Thanks for having us.
I'm here with my girl Trish as well. Trish, what's going on?
Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to talk to these guys.
Yeah. So, Addison, we're going to start with you since you are the director of Dartmouth High School. We do a segment on our show called a 32 Count Life Story. So, you're going to get 8 clicks from the Met, and then you're going to tell us your life story in 32 counts from beginning up until this point, okay?
You got it.
It's supposed to be off the fly, so you just go with it, okay?
All right.
Here we go.
All right. So my name's Addison Kaeterie. I started my color guard career actually at Dartmouth High School in the year 2000 to 2004. My first year of independent winter guard was with Sacred Heart Winter Guard, an independent open in 2004, which we won the gold medal in San Diego that year. Then I marched with them until 2009. I also marched Spartans Drum and Bugle Corps from 2001 to 2003, Carolina Crown in 2006. And I am currently the caption head also at Spartans Drum and Bugle Corps last year and this year. So that's kind of a little wrap up of my life.
Awesome. That's a lot of stuff in 32 counts, friend.
It was, right?
All good, good.
So I got to see this show for the first time at WGI Finals this week. Trish, I believe you've seen it a couple times.
I have, yeah.
At regionals and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just floored by the beauty of the costumes, the flags, the set design, all that stuff. Speaking of, got to give a little shout out to our partner from Showday Designs who did your costumes, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, Joe Henninger did our costumes this year. Yes.
Just stunning. So tell us, what was a little bit of the background of how you came up with this concept?
So every year we try to find something that's fun and different. Our show designer is actually Anthony Cabral. He's been a friend of mine. We've taught together now for 20 years. He's never actually been in color guard. He's been in musical theater and the arts all of his life, but never color guard. He picks it up as like just being friends with me for all these years. And he picks our show and designs it. So it's super cool. So basically our idea was how do we do something fun? We thought candy shop, Willy Wonka. So kind of our concept is unwrapped. So it's almost the concept of unwrap a candy, but you also have to unwrap yourself in our activity to present yourself to the audience. So it's believable. So our show starts off with the magic and beauty of the candy shop. You walk in, Think about you were a kid the first time you went to a penny candy store. And then we get to our sour candy section, which is when you go, the candy's getting crazy, things are getting wild. And then we end with our essential candy man, which is Jesse. And, every year we always think of, how do we incorporate Jesse? Jesse is such a talented young man and has so much heart for this activity. So how do we incorporate him to show off his talents, but also make sure we show off the other performers because they're just as great and just as talented. So, this is the perfect show where the girls were the candy shop workers and he was our version of a Willy Wonka.
That's awesome. Jesse, this is the perfect segue for us to bring you in because you are another one of those faces of WGI. Your picture was plastered up all over the place, all over social media as the infamous Candyman. What was your experience like performing in the UD Arena this past week?
It was definitely very magical, especially like just reflecting on it these past few days. It's so unbelievable. It was so fun. Our last finals was 2019, so just being able to experience that with this new group of people, plus it being our senior year, it was like words can't even describe how fun that was.
What was the energy like in the room when Addison revealed what your show was going to be for the season?
Lots of tears, happy tears, but
oh wow,
we spent a lot of time just trying to reach this point, and going into the season, we were like, okay, this is our year to make finals. We're very determined, and as every team goes, like ups and downs, but we definitely pushed through toward the end. So that was a very fulfilling moment for us.
Now fast forward to the moment where you found out that you actually made finals. What was that like?
That was pretty incredible. I got a little video because I'm not gonna lie, my sister had texted me before. She was like, congratulations. So I kind of had to pull it together.
Oh no!
Spoiler!
Seeing everyone's reactions because they haven't really, like last year, we got preliminated and then we were only got to semis the year before. So just seeing their faces, knowing that we're about to perform in the UD Arena after watching so many groups all these years perform there, it was very special.
That's awesome. Addison, what was the Dayton journey like?
So Dayton was especially exciting for us this year. We ended up, the rankings, right, as we call them, we went in 14th. So we were one of those cusp groups, right? And I tried to explain it to the kids because a lot of them are new. So they look at that ranking and they're like, 14th, yes. I'm like, listen, those get thrown away the minute we get there. Like that's a performance of the day in that moment. And you got to go out there and you got to kill it. So we went out to prelims. They were a little nervous, but we were in our, body warm up. And I just said to them, look, you're going to do it. It's like our big local circuit show. Think of it. I told them our circuit's Nesba. So I told them it's big Nesba, so just to get their nerves down a little bit. And then they went out there and they had a great run. Probably their strongest run of the season, which is obviously what you want, that first performance. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up 17th, which was fine. And I told them, I was like, look, you're still in the fight. Like you're still in it. You still go for it. So then next day we rehearsed, here's semis. And they went out there like professionals, like no nerves. They just like killed it. I don't know, Jesse, if you guys were nervous or not, but they didn't look it. And they ended up pulling out the performance of their life. I was like, oh my God, it got even better. Like oh my God. And then we saw our score of the 87 and the kids were so excited. They were like through the roof because we went up the 2 points and just so exciting for them because, and then we had to wait for the round to finish. And then we ended up going in tied for 12th, which I was floored. I did not expect it at all. I call it the curse of the fun show. Some people love it and some people don't. It's one of those things. And, we had Heather Graham and Louis Hellinger on staff this year. And, bringing the two of them together with their different design qualities and different looks in the activity definitely helped us with that because we were able to meld it together. And then we made finals. Watching these kids' faces just walk into body warm-up. Walk in, like it was, they screamed so loud. They were like, we made it. Like they didn't realize it until we walked into body. And then watching them wait in the tunnel was like a dream come true as someone who's gone through that tunnel before. With Dartmouth, with myself as a performer, And it's always a good time to see parents first time trying to push props down that tunnel. Another one of my favorite parts.
Well, that hill does not
overall,
play.
No,
Does
and the
not.
parents are like, this is really. I'm like, yep, gotta hold those panels. So, and then we were lucky enough that people from Blessed Sacrament World came to watch us. St. Anne's pulled our floor for us, and we have such supportive people. Yeah, such supportive groups in our circuit who went to WGI that were really there for us. Like St. Anne's pulled our floor, I think, at prelims also, because they could make it. They literally finished their run at the convention center and flew over to the Nutter just to do that for us. So very thankful for them and everyone in our circuit who supported us.
That is
Love
so
that
cool.
community. Love
yeah,
that
you
community.
and I talked a lot this season, and I remember one of the things that you said was, because you just touched on it earlier, about doing a fun show. Like, I remember one of your comments was, I just feel like WGI needs more fun shows. And
do.
So, obviously that was one of your goals, and it worked. Jesse, would you agree that WGI needs more fun shows and that you guys really love performing fun shows?
Yeah, for sure. I think especially this year, watching Vox Artium, I know we had mentioned her, the performer, earlier. That was really one of the best performances I had, just because you can tell the passion within the performers. And just, it's so cool. And it's so nice to just see people having fun on the floor.
Yeah, she's Francesca is her name, and she is coming on later in the show. We're very excited about that interview that's coming up. I'm jazzed about it. Jesse, you are a senior in high school this year. What are your plans now that your high school color guard spinning career is over? Sadly.
Yeah, very sad. But I'm excited because I plan on going to Rutgers University in New Jersey. And then hopefully
Come on, Jersey.
Did you say that you're going to spin? What are your plans? Are you going to spin independent guard?
Yep, I plan on going to AMP winter guard.
Yes, we love AMP.
Yes.
We love AMP.
Very excited.
So Addison, what's next? What's next? I mean, we'll definitely have to have you back on in the summer so you can tell us all about that Spartans 50-person color guard you plan on putting out there this summer. Doing that Utopia show. What can you give us like a little? I mean, you don't want to give everything away. You give us a little hint, and then we'll elaborate more in the summer.
Yeah, so Spartan's show this year is called Utopia. It's based around the principles of the Burning Man Festival. So you're definitely going to see a lot of bright colors. You're going to see some really cool costuming from us this year. Very different than what we've done in the past, and just cool set design. Definitely up more from what people have seen from us in the past or even last year.
Yeah. Excited.
I can't wait to see this. Addison, where can people find you on social media?
So they can find me most of the time on Instagram. My nickname is based off of, I used to be obsessed with Honey Boo Boo when I marched. So it's Addie Boo Boo. But also follow the biggest thing to follow us as a color guard is the Dartmouth High School Color Guard Instagram. We post as much as we can. We post our entire Dayton experience. And you can meet some of our members who are still going to be there next year. I'm only graduating 3 out of the 15. So we have a pretty good set of kids coming up. So I'm really excited for what we're going to do at Dartmouth next year.
That is exciting. Jesse, you're going to be a new star, my friend. So how can people find you on socials?
Yeah, so my Instagram is _Jesse Walker. And same as Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook as well.
Awesome.
I love it. I'm active on Facebook too, so I'm not judging you by any means. Well, Addison and Jesse, we thank you so much for coming and joining us here on the sidelines at On a Water Break. We hope that we get to see and hear more from you in the future. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was such a great interview. Thank you so much, Jesse and Addison from Dartmouth. Oh my gosh. And obviously, Ricardo and Trish did a fantastic job interviewing them. I wish it didn't have to be so late because it just kept getting darker and darker in Jesse's poor car.
Let's juxtapose that lighting with the brightness of their show and how incredible.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my goodness. Just light and breezy, beautiful. I know some of us from the podcast team had a chance to see them not only at WGI World Championships, but at the East Power Regional in Bethlehem. Just incredible. I mean, they're incredible. Jessie is amazing. Hello, yes. Slay, boots, purse, mama, all of that. But kudos to all of the team members from Dartmouth because they're just amazing.
It was an incredible
Addison
show.
And the Dartmouth music band program team know how to put together entertaining productions. So thank you for that. Absolutely. So Jackie, I think our next interview is someone pretty special and close to all of us. Frankie Ashton is one of the captains at Fusion Winter Guard.
Ooh, yeah, Nicole got to talk to him.
Yes, obviously Fusion, such a beautiful, moving, fresh, incredible production.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
Our independent world gold medalists, the first time a team from New Jersey, we're very proud in the Mid-Atlantic, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, possibly Virginia, possibly New York. I'm not totally sure. But the first time, and in our own local circuit, the Mid-Atlantic Indoor Network, Maine, the first time a team from that circuit has won IW Gold. So Frankie is not only a captain of Fusion, he is a Showday Designs team member, and he is one of my own Plymouth Whitemarsh High School from Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania graduates.
Oh,
so sweet. So
guys,
cute. Yes.
Have this whole legacy together.
Amazing. I've had a few graduates. Quite a few graduates have gone on to march. I'm sure, Jackie, you have too, and just go on a march at the highest level. And it's really just this sort of full circle, heartwarming feeling. So, Jackie, it was Nicole. Nicole got to chat with Frankie.
Let's toss it to Nicole and listen to that interview.
Hi, my name's Nicole from On a Water Break here at WGI in the tent. Today we have a special guest with us. Please tell us your name.
My name's Frankie, and I'm an employee of Showday Designs, but I'm also a captain at Fusion Winter Guard this year.
Perfect. And let's see, how do you feel about how Fusion is sitting right now?
I mean, it's a great feeling. Currently, right now, going in the finals tomorrow, we're ranked first, and that's exciting. It's super exciting.
Yes.
It's going to be a great thing, and no matter what happens, we're going to live in the moment and have a great time out there.
I think it's great. I've seen your show. I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's my vibe. It's my vibe. I really like it.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Oh, and so with Showday Designs, what did you do when you were working there?
So what I do there is mainly just cut all the fabric out and put all the topspin pieces out for the sewers to sew and do any miscellaneous things. Go pick up fabric, go pick up orders and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And at Fusion, how many years have you been there?
This was my 6th year at Fusion.
6?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years. And how long have you been a captain?
This is my 1st year as a captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like working at Showday kind of got you ready for that show. Okay. Well, fantastic. I'm so excited to see you all perform tomorrow. Please check them out. Fusion, what time do you go on?
We go on at 10:50, I believe, tomorrow night.
Woo! Take a nap.
Late one.
Make sure you take a nap. And please make sure you stop by the Showday Designs booth on a water break.
Oh, Jackie, don't we love Frankie? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So not only a completely talented performer, but just a lovely person, which is what we hope from the people that we look up to and adore in our activity, So Frankie joined our middle school color guard in the 8th grade, basically because his sister forced him to. So,
oh my gosh.
Yes, his sister had been in the color guard since I think she joined in the 7th grade, and then basically was like, yeah, you're going to do it too. The parents, I think, were like, it's easier just to take you both to the same thing and drop you off.
I love that, the convenience of having their kids in the same activity.
And he is obviously so talented and was so talented then all through high school. And Jackie, I don't know if you've experienced this, but teaching, a young performer that's a little bit even of a local celebrity amongst like other high school color guard programs. And like, oh my God, we can't wait to see Frankie. Like the the kids, the girls, the kids, they were just loving Frankie. They loved him then, and we love him now. So thank you for the chat.
I'm so glad we got to have him on the pod. I
don't know,
it makes me feel like special that he, we have all these connections and stuff.
Amazing. It's so amazing. Yeah. So Jackie, AMP, oh my goodness.
Yes.
So much to say about how incredible of a program they are, how amazing of a production they had. And Jackie, we talked a little bit the day in, the Saturday of finals last week of unfortunately the sad news. And we got to do a little bit of a chat that day. Do you want to talk a little bit about sort of a recap of what went down that day and how we are still a little bit recovering?
Well, yeah, we're still kind of having to recover from it because that was huge news when it happened. AMP's performers so many of them were sick, and they were so very sick, and we, they ended up their directors decided to pull them from their finals performance, and so they didn't compete in finals at WGI. And I mean, on the one hand, it was so sad. Of course, we're so sad not to get to see them, not to get to see one more performance of their show this year, Coven, and it was such a good show. I got to see it in semifinals. But on the other hand, like, my big takeaway has been just applauding the heck out of those directors for making that choice, because that's a hard choice, and I think they did the right thing by putting the health and safety of their performers first.
100%. And my understanding is that there was a bit of a sort of a virus breakout even in the Dayton area before we all arrived in Dayton. And
it makes sense.
So to be able to have the strength in that moment as a staff, as a board of directors of a nonprofit, even beyond a color guard program, to be of a nonprofit that is a youth arts organization, to say to themselves and to all of us at large, we are 100% taking the safety and wellness of everyone, not just the performers, but everyone in the arena, all the volunteers, all of the other performers, all of the staff. That is our priority. I don't know that there could be a bigger round of applause for a choice like that.
It's true. I'm so excited. We have an interview with the AMP captains. Now, this interview, I want to preface that it was recorded prior to that decision being made.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Jackie, it was the night before. I believe it was the night of semis, World IW semis, and we were lucky and happy to have the two of the AMP captains, Rebekah, who is a seasonal employee of Showday Designs, and Jacob, who is a model of Showday Designs. Hello!
Oh, yay!
And of course, everyone knows we are a partner and a sponsor of the AMP organization, and we talked so much about this before, our personal connection to this program. The director is my roommate, like, we're all besties. So
when you talk about Winter Guard being family, like, seriously, this is as family as it gets.
Exactly. So we're now going to hear, it was Ricardo, right?
Yep, it's Ricardo.
Ricardo got to chat with Rebekah and Jacob from AMP Winter Guard. So let's hear it.
Hey guys, it's me, Ricardo, with On a Water Break Podcast, and I have two very special guests with me right now. I have Rebekah and Jacob, who are both captains from AMP Winter Guard, and they also have a special connection to Showday Designs. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to give each one of them a 32-count life story. So you guys don't know this if you haven't listened to the podcast. You're going to get 8 clicks from the mat, then you get 32 counts to tell us all about your life from birth until now. Okay? Yeah?
Okay.
All right. You're going to go first, Rebekah?
Yeah, I'll go
first.
All
right, here we go. Here's your 8 on the mat.
Hi, I'm Rebekah. I've been doing color guard for a long time. I marched the cadets for 3 years, and then I came to AMP, and I've been at AMP ever since. And I love it here. We're really just a family. I love them so much, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Nice. You got through it in your 32 counts.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah?
I can't promise the same thing.
Listen, okay, but you gotta have your feature moment, okay? But your feature, if it's longer than 32 counts, then it becomes redundant.
You can
Right.
do this,
All right.
I believe in you.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 8 on the mat, and then you're in.
So I started playing the clarinet in 5th grade. I continued that into high school marching band, and then I saw my friends doing color guard, so I joined indoor color guard in high school. I've been doing that since 2012, and then I joined the cadet organization in 2017, joined AMP in 2019, and been with them ever since.
See, you did it. Good job. That was a great 32 count life story. So I am very excited about the fact, because of our collaboration with Showday Designs, both of these two wonderful, talented individuals are not just talented on the floor with AMP, but they also have connections to Showday Designs. So, Rebekah, tell us what your job is at Showday Designs.
So this summer I worked at Showday Designs to kind of help check to make sure everything was together before it was shipped out and sent to the customer. I made sure all the threads were off, everything was sewn correctly, it was folded nice in a bag, labels, made sure everybody had the right sizes, all that good stuff. And then it got to the customer in a nice, pretty package. So that was my job.
Rebekah is quality control.
Quality
That's what her job is, okay?
Yes.
That's why all your costumes for you Showday Design clients, all your costumes came in nice and neatly packaged and did not have threads on them, okay? Jacob, you too have a special job at Showday Designs. What is your role?
My special and super fun job with Showday Designs is I get to model a lot of the uniforms that are made.
Oh my God, I'm next to a supermodel, you guys! Oh. So, how has it been working for Showday Designs? What do you get out of doing this?
I really enjoyed working with so many different people. I got to learn how to cut fabric. I got to see people sew. And it was like, I don't have all of those talents, but I got to learn a little bit about cutting fabric and putting things together, learning how to cut out patterns and what the numbers mean. I didn't get a chance to sew. I don't think that would be a good idea for the business. But it was really nice to get to talk to the people and hang out with them and meet some new people as well. So I really had a great time. And it's a great working environment as well. Everybody's very friendly. You can ask questions all the time. So I really enjoyed working.
I love that. Jacob, same question.
I loved it. I got to come in, got to work with Joe Heinegger a little bit with all the modeling stuff. And then there's actually 3 other people in AMP that were with me while we did the modeling. So we just all got to hang out and looked really pretty together.
Oh, I love it. I love standing around being pretty.
Absolutely.
So I can relate to you on that. So, you guys, tell me, what is your favorite part of your show? Because I've seen it twice now, and my God, it is fantastic. So, favorite parts?
I think my favorite part is Survivor. We like all come around this like circle, and we're all like together, we're vibing together, we're counting together, we're all in a groove in the zone together. And I think it's just a really good moment for us as like a team to be in that position during the show. So I really enjoy that part because I feel really close to my team and like we're killing it. I see all the rifles pat, I see the dancers sliding, the flags on the ground. It's so great. So I really enjoy that.
Me too. I love that part of the show. What's yours?
My favorite part is the flag feature because there aren't too many groups out there who have like a whole ensemble flag feature anymore, which I love. And I love how fast we spin. I love that we do all this crazy stuff, like our double turn under our 1.5 45.
Y'all was swirling and whirling out there.
We sure do.
It was lovely. Okay, who besides AMP are you excited to see over the course of the next 2 days before we end this WGI?
We saw Avon High School yesterday, and they were so good. We keep singing their show song all the time, so we really enjoyed them. We're also really excited to see Paramount. I hope I get to see them. I really root for them as well. I love seeing them every year. I really don't get to see them until now. So I think those are the 2 people that I'm rooting for the most out of everybody and would like to see as well.
Love it.
Yeah, I also loved Avon's show. We didn't get to see a lot of Color Guard this weekend, but that was one of the few shows that we've seen. I'm also looking forward to seeing Paramount live, and then, of course, all of my friends and all the other groups as well.
So, Rebekah and Jacob, we do this thing on our podcast, and it is called What Are We Doing? And basically, you just get to rant for a second. No tea, no shade, okay? Don't name names of anybody, but you can just say something that's bugging you that you've seen in the pageantry arts or that we've been doing. You know, what are we doing? So, what are we doing, guys?
What are we doing with some of these clanky flagpoles out there?
We now tape ours with paper towels on the bolts.
Paper towel.
Oh yeah, we have wrapped paper towels on them, and then we put them in.
And you know what? That is economical. It is cost effective, you know, and it cuts down on flaky clothes, okay? We do not want to hear your polos flaking around on the
It
floor.
was definitely us, though, at points, yes. It was Amp. It's okay.
Oh, what are we doing?
Not now, though. Not now.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. You guys out there, make sure that you are following and liking On a Water Break podcast on all the platforms where you get your podcast. And also make sure that you check out Showday Designs.
That was an amazing interview with Amp. Ricardo always does such a good job. And I know you guys got to see them one last time, though, right? At the main championships?
We did. You know, I know some members of our podcast team were there, Jeremy, Trish, some others. A lot of circuits, I think, end before Dayton. So the fact that
I know ours does.
The fact that our circuit here in the greater Philadelphia area ends usually the week after, the 2 weeks after. So the fact that they got to come back out one more time, Jackie, and perform. I wasn't there, but I was told they brought the house down.
Yes.
And them in Fusion. Hello, 2 of the best color guards in the country are based in our local circuit.
Yeah.
Based out of New Jersey, and whether they performed or not in Dayton, they are a 2024 WGI World Class finalist. So, one more time for Amp.
Yeah. Well, that is amazing. You never know when your final performance is going to be. You know, I think we all got a huge dose of that a few years ago, and it's really true. There's so many circumstances, you never know what's going to happen. So, definitely let's keep that in mind. Bobbey, we need to get back on the road, and we'll see you guys at our next water break stop.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy, and here are your announcements coming from the box. You want to drink up On a Water Break Lost in Translation with Cynthia Bernard. Uncover the glitz and glamour of twirlers with On a Water Break in Rhinestones, hosted by Lexi Duda. Get the insider scoop from the stands with On a Water Break from the stands with Cindy Berry, aka Leander Mama, and join the band family in On a Water Break family style with Stephanie Click, plus much, much more to come. Make sure to follow us on social media at On a Water Break for all the latest updates and bonus content. Got something to share or a burning question? Email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com. So don't be the person that doesn't tell their friends about a water break. Make sure everyone stays hydrated. Okay, field staff, take it away.
Let's reset.
Oh, Bobbey, here is a good gas station. I am going to hand you your water bottle because let's just get right to this next interview. We have Rick Subel and his wife, Andria, from Paramount.
Hey guys, this is Ricardo Robinson-Shinall from On a Water Break podcast, and I am here with the wonderful and amazing, talented directors of Paramount Winter Guard, Rick Subel and Andria Foerch. Hey guys, thank you for coming on today. So, you know, we do this thing before we start anything. It's called a 32 count life story. Okay. So I'm going to give you 8 on the Met, and then you get 32 counts to tell your life story from birth to now. All right? So we'll switch off. We'll do you first, Rick, and then we'll do you, Andria, after that. Okay? 8 clicks, and you're in. You ready? All right. And
I was born and raised in Alabama. I was in high school band. I learned about drum corps. I marched in the cadets when I was 15. When I graduated from high school, I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, where friends from the cadets at that time were in color guard and said, hey, we march in this group called Emerald Marquee. You should come and march. I had never marched before. I showed up in jeans. They had no idea what I was doing. They never cut me, so I marched there for 5 years and learned a ton from some of the best people in the activity, especially about how to just be a great color guard inside and out from Great Dale Powers. When I say aged out, the age out rule happened my last year, so I decided to teach because I was asked during my last year of marching to come back and teach. So I taught Emerald Marquee right after the age out rule, taught a bunch of groups while I was performing, moved down to Georgia, loved it, moved to Texas, taught some high school band there. Taught a million different groups and a lot of different drum corps, moved back to Atlanta because I loved it, started a wonderful color guard with my wife Andria Paramount, and we've been doing it ever since, and we built it up, and we're part of a huge community in Atlanta, mentoring a million people and helping as many people as we can make great color guard, and that is today. We just did semis, and the guard had a great run, and we loved them.
Wow! That was a 32 count life story right there. You went through it all.
Still got it.
The whole thing. Yeah, still got it. I love it. All right, Andria, same thing. You ready? 8 clicks on the mat.
All right.
Life story, beginning to end. Or not end, beginning to today. All right.
I was born and raised in Florida. I marched at Seminole High School. Before that, I did baton from age 6 to 8th grade. So I did a little bit of twirling beforehand. I did color guard at Seminole High School for a little bit. Then I marched an independent color guard called The Company. I did that for 5 years until they disbanded. After that, I ended up moving to Pennsylvania for just a short segment of time. And then I moved to Texas where Rick and I met up. And then we decided to move to Atlanta, started our own color guard there in Atlanta, Paramount. And we've been doing that for the last 14 years. And today we had semifinals. They had a great run, and we're really excited for tomorrow and really excited for this season.
I love it. Great job. See, that's a 32 count life story for you guys. You got to get all the stuff in there, and you got to keep it moving. So, enough about that. I want to talk about Paramount this year. They are a crowd favorite show, one of my favorite shows. I refuse to watch it on any kind of like digital media or whatever before seeing it yesterday live. And I tell you, it is just stunning. Where did this idea come from?
Well, after last year, we had an amazing season, obviously. And, you know, when you start thinking about, like, what do you want to say in the next year? And the word that kept repeating in my head was change, whatever that means, to be different, to try something different, to not go back to the well again for the same kind of thing. So to be drastically different and unique. I think we've been pretty chameleon with ourselves over the year. We've allowed ourselves to not do a signature kind of thing. But within that, I think we've still carved an identity of the kinds of stuff that we explore. But the show is about change. It's about where change comes from. It's entitled The Harbingers, and a harbinger is an agent of change. It could be an idea, an inspiration. It could be a person. For me personally, I've been influenced by a lot of harbingers of this activity, people that have brought new ideas that changed things, but also changed me. You know, when you're a young, impressionable designer, you have lots of conversations with people, and they may say something that you just hold on to like a seed, and eventually it works its way out of you and branches out of you, and it becomes something that started 10 years ago as a small idea. So I just love that idea of how something we do now has effects later. I love doing shows that for the 20-somethings gives them something to think about. They right now are harbingers to 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds who see that and go, I can do that too. They're going to go out in the world and be young designers one day. They're going to listen to different music than we all did in our generation. They're going to have different influences, and they're going to bring that new sense of artistry into the activity, and we all have to be ready for that because that's the future and that's how we evolve. So that's basically what the show's about.
Love it. Love it. So I was having a conversation earlier with Carrie Short, and we were making mention about how, you know, a lot of groups out there don't make finals. And we talked specifically about how in those first couple of years, Paramount was not a finalist, and Paramount was still one of my favorite color guards back then. What advice do you guys have for instructors who are trying to push and make that grind to get into finals to be the best that they can be? What would you say to your younger self 10 years ago when you weren't in finals?
Well, yes, we were the perennial 19th place semifinalists for a few years, 4 years actually. And then on the 5th year, something clicked and something changed, ironically. I think the biggest advice is we learn from every year. Each year was different for us. You know, we walked away and we thought, okay, this is going to be the one, and it wasn't quite the one. It didn't quite get there this first couple of years. But I think learning from those experiences and saying, what didn't we hit the mark on? What did we hit the mark on? Because we obviously did something right to get to where we did get to, and kind of hold on to that and continue to tweak and work through things. I think talking to a lot of different designers, it was helpful for Rick for his process to say, tell me how you think about this and what do you think, what are these things? So having those conversations and really understanding, we have strengths and then there are opportunities that we had to work on and really capitalize on. And so I think that we started to work our way through those opportunities and chip away at them a little bit, little by little, to get to where we are today. And I think that that's really important. We wanted to do big things our first year out, and we weren't there yet. We weren't ready for that yet. Yeah. We had to really understand how to get to that place first before we could do big things.
Yeah. One of the things I love about your organization is that you guys are a family, much like many other organizations, but the Paramount family, it runs strong. And you guys have put a lot of new instructors out into the Atlanta community, the surrounding areas, and you are slowly but surely changing the face of ColorGuard in your area. Was that an intentional thing when you started this, or is this just an excellent byproduct of doing the thing that you love to do?
Yes, I would say, back in the day, but as an old schooler, maybe I grew up in the 90s marching, and there are old ways of doing stuff that maybe didn't always settle right with performers, like you felt different, and then you go to a place where it's like, okay, this feels like home, this feels real, I feel safe here, I feel protected here. And so again, I mentioned I marched at Emerald Marquee, and it very much was like that. It was built by us, for us. We felt like we owned it, and it wasn't just something that gave something to us. It's something that we knew we put into, but we also took ownership in it. And so it did feel family. It's the first place I really could identify that, and I knew I wanted to kind of replicate that, not just something that would be a vehicle for success or to even just to put out shows and do artistry and that sort of thing. It's just that I wanted it to feel great. If those rehearsals that aren't right, I don't want to live in that. I don't want to have those bad rehearsals. I don't want to have that bad vibe, or, it's just like, if it's not working, we figure it out and, make it right. So we are very sensitive to what does it feel like to be a part of our thing. And so kind of going back to that earlier question to Andria, for those people that are kind of like struggling, finding their ways, the first thing to figure out is what it does is not as important as what it is on the inside. You get that part right foundationally, and the students will stay and they'll take ownership, and everybody will kind of be all in on that project. And so even now, like, yes, I'm the designer for Paramount, but I'm sharing ideas with the staff and the technical staff and the design staff and even the performers that they all feel like they can take ownership of, and we built this thing together. It's my favorite thing to say to them on finals night when it's all over is like, look what we all built together. And that kind of ownership, I think, is huge. And I think that's why it feels like that.
Love that. I love that. So besides your own color guard, who else are you guys excited about seeing this weekend? If you get the chance to see, do you get to watch other color guards?
We do. Yeah. I mean, timing's never great, but obviously I love being able to see the groups that I work with. I think that's exciting. For a group with me like Tarpon Springs, I never get to see them live. The first time I saw them in costume doing the show that I helped put together was at the Bellbrook exhibition the other night. So I'm crying. The show's exciting, but I'm crying like, it's emotional. But I love that for one. But then, the standard setting groups that are out there right now, like Avon is incredible. And I can feel what that must feel like live on video. So I can't wait to watch them in finals tomorrow. I know that they're going to bring it. Those are some of mine.
I think A-Class is really exciting tonight to watch. It's one of my favorite nights to be able to view things. I think the top independent A groups are really exciting in there, and a couple from Georgia, so we're really excited for that. And then Scholastic A is always a blast for sure. I'm very excited to see Tarpon. I'm very excited to see Avon. I think that I've heard just wonderful things about Avon, so I can't wait to see them live, which that'll be tomorrow. And I'm actually really excited to see some of the beginning performance times for Independent World as well. Those are the classes and the shows I identify so well with, just because we spent so many years just working through and trying to get to that place. So cheering on those groups for sure.
Love that. Love it. Okay. All right. Last segment that we do, this is called a Gush and Go. Anything that you were excited about, it can be about the pageantry arts, or it can be anything in life. If there's something big going on, what are you gushing about today?
All right. I am gushing about, I think Rick pointed out this a little bit. When I marched years ago, it wasn't the same as it is today. I love when the independent world groups are passing each other in warm-ups and everybody's screaming, have a great run, have a great run. They know each other. They're just cheering each other on. I love the camaraderie between all the different teams. And I think that we can learn from that. I think we can learn from our youth in this activity. They're so supportive and just love doing color guard. They love cheering their friends on. So.
Absolutely. My gush and go is I have a lot of friends in the percussion side of things, and I got to dabble a little bit and help a group this particular season, but this will be my first time watching percussion championships, so I'm elated into the moon. Also, we brought our dogs, so we have our dogs this week. We get to sit back and relax and not be stressed out at a show, but a big show, and support all of our teams, all of our friends on the percussion side of things.
I love it. Well, Rick and Andria, thank you guys so much for being with us on A Water Break. Guys, if you are not following us, please make sure that you follow us on all of your socials at On a Water Break Podcast, where you can see this interview and many more like it. Thanks, guys.
That was such a good interview. And I have to say, there's some common threads between what Rick is doing at Paramount and sort of what what I've been able to see and watch as their organization grows and kind of pull that into Spintronics. And he and I got to chat after his interview with Ricardo, and it was so nice to get to actually talk to him because like I said, I've watched his organization grow and do all these things, and I've been able to kind of pull from that and use that information to modify it for my own organization. And then like he came back and told me that they use a lot of the resources that I've put online to help their younger members and stuff like that. And I was like, this is such a full circle moment. Like it felt so good about like, about just getting to talk to him about that and everything. And it was a very, very, like I said, a very full circle moment to have at WGI, and it was like perfect timing and everything. But yeah, so Paramount did really awesome at WGI, and they're another East Coast guard, aren't they?
So Jackie, I think the top 4 in Independent World Finals were East Coast. I'm gonna need some crazy like super focused historian. There's a couple that follow the podcast that are so gracious in sharing their knowledge. And I'm sure in the early days, because I mean, I like to think that I tend to think that color guard in those early days was a lot of East Coast and West Coast specifically on the coast.
Right.
I was actually looking at, someone pointed me to the very first WGI World Championships, which I want to say was 1978. And there were like, I want to say maybe 18, 16 teams. And there was all in one division, high school groups, independent groups. And I know like there's a recollection of, I believe the Blessed Sacrament, Norwin High School, all the way back there in that very first year. But to be at this place in 2024 where our activity is so developed and so heightened and so produced, to have 4 East Coast teams be our top 4, and that's wonderful. And look, we give our flowers and our praise to all teams from all areas of the country. California has its moments, Texas, the Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, but we need a little love over here on the East Coast sometimes. Florida has its moments. So incredible. So incredible, Jackie.
That is so great. And that, I mean, can we use that to jump right into our next interview, which is another person from Showday?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I was so happy that who got to speak with Jared?
Ricardo, of course.
Our
the Oprah Winfrey of the color guard world.
Exactly. Jared Carrey is based out of St. Louis, right, Jackie? You know Jared, or you're familiar with Jared?
I'm not.
No.
Actually,
no, you're not.
I'm so far from St. Louis.
Well, I guess more so than we are here but so Jared is connected with LaVoot, and
yes, I love them.
It is pronounced LaVoot, correct?
Yeah, so LaVoot is like the vault, like a vaulted ceiling, or an archway, like the St. Louis Arch.
So you know that we have those announcers, which by the way, they should be podcast guests too. The announcers
Ooh.
at WGI were so talented and wonderful. And my own goal is to be one of those announcers one day. But anyway, the one announcer was calling Lavalte. And look, we
Oh,
get it. Look,
why?
we get it. We get it. There's so many school names, city names. They're doing their best. I've been announcing for the better part of 20 years. I get it. I totally get it. And we do our own research beforehand. So hats off to any show announcer. But it is Lavoot, and Lavoot is sort of Jackie from your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they're in
Jared,
our circuit.
and Jared Carrey is a really talented graphic designer, and he's one of our graphic
Ooh.
designers at Showday Designs. And he's so amazing and so sweet and so lovely. And Ricardo and Jared got to chat this week at Dayton. So let's take a listen.
Hey guys, it's Ricardo Robinson-Shinall from On a Water Break Podcast, and I am here today with Jared Kelly from Showday Designs. Now, Jared, listen, we do this thing on the show where we do a 32 count life story. So you're going to get 8 clicks from the Met, and then you get to tell us your life story from birth to today in 32 counts.
Got it.
Okay, you ready for it?
I'm ready.
8 clicks from the Met, and...
My name is Jared Carey. I'm originally from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, where I was born and raised. Moved to St. Louis, Missouri, where I now get the fortune of working at Showday Designs as a designer and graphic artist. And I'm on the artistic staff with the Lavoot Performance Ensemble.
You're not even using all your counts.
That's it. That's
you
the highlights.
You have spare counts to go.
That's the highlights. That's what she does.
That is awesome. So tell me, we are here at the WGI World Championships prelims today.
Yes.
You have worked with a ton of groups at Showday Design.
Yes.
Who are some of the groups that you've worked with that you're excited to see today?
Oh my goodness. Norwin High School is a standout for me. Love that show. Those performers are killer. Had the opportunity to design some flags for the Black Watch. Excited to see them as well. There's just so many people that we're so fortunate to get to work with, so it's really hard.
That's awesome. So we do this thing at On a Water Break, and I'm kind of famous for them now. It's called What Are We Doing? And basically, it's just your chance to riff on something that is bugging you about the marching arts. Like, like people not taping their flagpoles the same colors as their flags and all of that stuff like that. So I'm going to ask you,
okay,
what are we doing?
What are we doing still not making sure our bolts are taped so we don't hear that clink? Strong catches doesn't have to be loud.
That part, okay? Nobody wants to hear flagpoles clinking around the floor tile, but it's just tacky.
Yes.
It is tacky.
Yes.
Tape your bolts into your flagpoles, people, okay? So you've been doing this design thing for a long time.
Yes.
Give us some insight on sort of your process when you're working with designers on how you come up with designs, how you work with them. How does that process go for you?
It's important to me to understand the exact scope of what the client is looking for. I'm really big into feeling what the music is and creating the environment for the client. So anytime I'm designing something, whatever source material they're using, whether it be marching band or whatever, show music they're using for the indoor season, that is on repeat all day until the design is done. My partner is a huge fan of it. He hates it. He's like, this song again? So that's really for me. I want to live in that world so I can make sure I'm knocking it out of the park for the client 9 out of 10 times on the first try.
I love that. So you just immerse yourself into it and let it come to you from beyond somewhere, and it just, the spirit fills you, and that's where your design comes from.
That's where it comes from.
And that's why you are great at what you do, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this quick On a Water Break.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Jared, he's adorable.
Okay, you gotta hook me up. Like he's local to me, so let's get this connection going.
We we have, obviously we're based in Philly. We have our connection with Jared in the St. Louis area. We have a couple of other reps in Texas and California. So we're just like, come on, come play with us, But Jared's amazing. So if you love Jared's design, his work, hit us up, info@showdaydesigns.com.
Shameless plug. Yes, plug it all in shamelessly.
Plug it. So Jackie, our next interview.
I'm so
Jeff
excited about the next
Sacktig.
one. Yes.
Jeff is an icon, a walking, living legend in our activity. And so many of our podcast team members, including myself, were so honored and blessed to be under Jeff's tutelage. When I marched in Apex Winter Guard, anyone remember Apex from Wilmington, Delaware? So Apex Winter Guard, and he staged our show. He's worked with the best cadets, and I think Carolina Crown, and just so many incredible groups. And this year he came back to Black Watch, Jackie, after like a 20-year absence. Not an absence, a 20-year break. And he came back and helped to reinvigorate and build up that program, which I'm an alum of and so proud to be an alum of. So, wait, Jackie, who got to talk with Jeff? Was it Ricardo?
It was Ricardo.
It's Ricardo. Ricardo had a chance to chat with a 2024 WGI Hall of Fame recipient, Jeff Sacktig. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, it's Ricardo with On a Water Break Podcast, and I am here with the one and only Jeff Sacktig.
Hey guys.
Amazing drill writer whom we all know. But Jeff, we do a thing here called your 32 count life story. So I'm going to put the Met on, give you 8 clicks in. You need to tell me everything you can about you in 32 counts.
Hey, listen, like I told him earlier, I'm a drill writer. I always need a little more counts. So we'll see. We'll go by the click, and I'll try to see if I fit it in.
Okay. All right. If we go over, you know what? You can write around that.
All right. That's fine.
All right. Here we go. You ready?
Hey, guys. My name is Jeff Sacktig, and I've been involved in the activity since 1977. I started young in a local drum and bugle corps in Ridgewood, Queens, New York, Blue Max. I moved on to the Sunrisers. From there, I kind of marched in the Garfield Cadets. And I was with the Garfield Cadets all the way from 1986 to just last year in some way, shape, or form. Indoor stuff, I started teaching color guard to Crimson Kings in '91. Done a load of groups, including Black Watch, Emma Marquis. I'm currently involved with Paramount, Black Watch again, Lasser High School for a long time. On the percussion side, I am the designer for Dartmouth High School. It's Scholastic World Class for 20 years. And I also do a winds group, Cleveland Winds, for the last 6 or 8 years. I can't even remember. So I'm pretty well rounded in terms of pageantry arts. Also write for a ton of marching bands. Vandergrift High School, 2019 Grand National Champion. So been there since they kind of started, 14 years.
Wow. So that was way longer than 32 counts. But because it's you, I'm going to give you an entire feature moment. Okay.
Awesome.
So
I appreciate that. Thank
down front feature.
I felt rushed, but hopefully I got some of the highlights in.
So Jeff, you have worked with some amazing groups, and you're still working with some amazing groups, and still doing great things. Tell me, we do a thing here. We call them "What Are We Doing?" Okay, and this is your opportunity to tell us what you think we are doing wrong in the pageantry arts.
Wrong? I'm not sure if I can say we do things wrong. I think there's a lot of right going on. For me, I think that this is a wonderful activity for people to grow and learn, more than just spin, drum, play instruments, but be better people. I'm not a critical person, so I don't know if I want to go into that, because there are little things that itch me, but I don't know if I'm going to go there.
Okay. So your life is a gush and go, if you will. So right now we are at WGI World Championships. What are you gushing about? Who are you gushing about?
Who am I gushing about? Well, first and foremost, I'm a fan of this activity. So I will probably, after this interview, go in and make sure I watch a couple of groups before I go on my way with my team. So my thing is, like, I feel like I learn from every ensemble that's on the floor at all levels, and I'm thankful enough that I actually teach all levels within this activity. And there's always something that is positive and creative that's going on the floor, and I'm just a big fan of it.
So, being a fan of yours for such a long time, and being a friend of yours and acquaintance and knowing you for a while, I can tell that this activity is the thing that you're most passionate about in life. And you have shaped this activity in so many ways and done so many amazing things. How are you still, to this day, after being involved in the activity for so long, still being the creative genius that you are? What makes Jeff tick?
Well, I appreciate that. I do feel like I have a point of view. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that it's a collaborative thing, and we need to work together as a team, no matter where I'm at. So I think I'm a pretty easygoing person, easy to kind of get along with. There's a lot of what ifs. I do have, my non-negotiables at sometimes, but I do believe that it's more than just me. And I think how we survive within our group and community to create is definitely, powerful. I can't do any of this by myself,
Yeah.
So I have to kind of rely on my friends and family. They're my family. The people I work with are my family, So like Tom Ux, percussion director at Dartmouth High School, Rick Subel. These are people I cherish and love that, I'm happy to kind of do what I can to make the groups be successful.
Well, we are definitely happy that you do what you can because you have continuously made magic, and I hope that you continue to make magic because I love seeing the things that you put out there and all of the wonderful work that you do. And we're just grateful to have you. So thanks for stopping by and doing this little interview.
I appreciate it so much. Shout out to all the performers out there. Have a great one.
So, Jackie, oh my goodness, Jeff, incredible, right?
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer, for crying out loud. Like, he has been around the block. He's seen things. He's done things. We could all just being in his presence, I feel like I have learned so much.
Can we just take a moment to honor, love, and respect his partner, Michelle Owens, who is she's passed, sadly, but she has such a presence and a spirit amongst so many of our watchers, some of our team members here with On a Water Break. I know she was on staff at Field of View when Jeremy was a performer. She was on staff at the Apex when I was a performer. So Jeff, Michelle, they're family. So amazing.
Of course.
Amazing. But Jackie, I think our next interview.
Oh my gosh.
World class, living, walking, talking 20-something-year-old performer. Hello. Let's talk about Bloody Mary.
Can I tell you what my toddler said about this show? Because this was one of the shows that he was so into, mostly because he was like, oh, there's stairs, and he knows what stairs are. But the Vox Artium show was it was so over the top in the absolute best possible way. I always love this guard and the way that they story tell and the way that they, really, they cross that line between color guard performing, dancing, and acting like no other team I've seen. And
it's very much like, Jackie, if I could say, it's almost like AMP. Yeah. Like these two teams have so many similarities, and they're on opposite coasts, so they're just bringing entertainment, on these two coasts. Vox is just a favorite. Absolutely.
They really are. And anybody who hasn't seen some of the Vox videos on their YouTube channel, go over and watch those because they produce some really fantastic color guard videos, and it's so good. So Bloody Mary was like the iconic soloist from this show. Her name was Francesca, and we got to talk to her. Ricardo and Trish got to talk to her.
Hello. Amazing.
She is so down to earth and so sweet and so kind. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this interview because seriously, I feel like this was an interview of a lifetime. It was such a quick chance that we got to get her on here and talk to her, and I appreciate her taking the time so much because seriously, she just wowed everybody at WGI, and you would never ever guess from watching her perform how absolutely shy she is to talk to.
I love that. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a listen.
I sure did. And Trish is here with me. And we got to meet Queen Mary, Bloody Mary herself. She is coming in from the sidelines. Francesca, or Fran, as everyone calls you. How are you?
Hi, I am doing... Hello, I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here, actually. First ever being invited to anything like this ever. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about it.
We are so excited to have you. So we do this thing here at On a Water Break, and it is called your 32 Count Life Story. So I know already that you're only 21 years old. Okay, so you have done some amazing things in those 21 years. So we're going to give you 8 counts on the Met, and then you're going to get 32 counts to tell us your life story and journey up to this point. You ready?
Yep, let's go for it. Okay, so my name is Francesca Yap. I also go by Fran by most of the team, and I'm 21 years old. I started Colorguard in my freshman year back in 2017 and pretty much continued all the way through till now. Vox is the first independent group and probably the only independent group I'll probably be marching with, and I have no regrets with that. I'm perfectly fine with all that.
That's awesome. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Fran, where did you spin in high school?
I spun at Mira Mesa High School in San Diego, California.
Okay.
And that's actually where I got to meet the director of Vox Artium, Sarah. She took over the program like around my junior year. And she was the one who like convinced me to like try out for an independent guard. Mainly Vox Artium.
That's awesome.
Sarah, from all of us at On a Water Break and everybody that was in the Dayton Arena on Saturday night, we thank you for asking Francesca to do that. Okay, you have given us all a blessing.
Love Sarah.
That's right.
So the biggest thing on everybody's mouths right now that's blowing up the internet, it is popping up on every feed in social media, is your magnificent performance at the end of Vox's show, Bloody Mary, this year. You performed that last moment, which I think should have won GE hands down for all of WGI.
Oh my God.
You performed that moment. From the end of that phrase, which was magical, that flag phrase with the Bloody Mary saying at the end, child, you have nothing to be embarrassed about. It was the moment of the season. So I, in my real life outside of teaching color guard, I am a theater teacher. And the first question I had was, Fran, do you have theater training? Did you take theater classes in high school? What's your
musical theater my freshman
background?
year. But I never continued with it afterwards. I kind of just loved guard more than I did with theater, so I just stuck with that. But I don't know. I just like for me, like I say, like my personal life compared to like my performance life is like complete 180 from each other. Because I'm like personally, I'm like so shy. I'm like shaking right now talking to you. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like being like on the floor. Like something just takes over my body, I guess. The spirit of Bloody Mary just decided to take over for that one moment and took control and let it ride out all the way to the end, to be quite honest.
Well, Bloody Mary came out in full force. It was just so powerful seeing you be so strong in that moment and just continue the performance all the way out the door. I mean, we're going to talk about this for years to come. You are going to be recognized as one of those faces of WGI. Everybody's going to know Bloody Mary. And you heard her here, right here on a Water Break, guys. You got to hear a live interview.
Did you expect to be the talk of WGI when you were prepping for that performance?
Honestly, no. To be like, because when we were first writing or like just like doing the drill and like just designing the show, we originally weren't going to do like, me like walking all the way to the end, performing to the audience, even while like everyone's cleaning up. So I was like thinking like, it's just going to be like basically like a boo, scare the audience, and then like quickly get off the floor and wrap everything up. But I am glad that we decided to do what our actual ending was, because that was literally like the funnest, most memorable experience of my entire career right now.
How long before WGI did you guys put that ending on? Was it always there at the beginning of the season, or did it come like at the end, or was it just something you added in WGI?
Off the floor, literally 2 weeks before WGI, and then like the blood, like the fake blood that I had at the end, we didn't start that till prelims.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now I noticed there was someone walking close to you with a towel.
But also
was
just
that
like
to wipe the
clean
blood
up
off
any
your
like
face?
specks of blood that fell on the floor as I'm like going on it. No penalties. We're getting every point that we deserve.
No penalties.
So what was? Go ahead, Ricardo. I said, so talk to us about the back stands, those people in the back. What was that? What was the vibe back there? What was that like?
Honest, performing to the back, that like kind of gets me really hyped up to like do like whatever I did, like walking off. Cause like, I'll say like for rehearsals, being Bloody Mary is so boring because you don't really have to like perform for anyone. Like it's really just a blank, you just perform to bleachers at that point. But like getting to like see like all the kids and like the high schoolers like just like get so antsy and like freaked out about like what's going on just got me hyped up for what's going on. And it's just so fun. I honestly can't describe it other than it being like such a blast.
When you guys learned about your show earlier in the season, how excited was the cast?
Coming off of last year's show, like we were all we were all so excited to like know what to figure out how on earth like we could top off last year, because we won independent open class and we were like, that was such a good show. None of us really knew how exactly you could ever like beat that. How can you beat the world the first place gold medal show that was last year? And then they brought out the staircases for us as like a little like, oh, try and guess what the show is based on the props that we have currently available. And like when she like finally told us that it's going to be like about Bloody Mary, we literally I could not I was so excited. She didn't tell us who's going to play each character. So I literally had no idea that it would even be me at that time, or like who else would have been like the Marys of the show.
That's awesome. So what are 2 or 3 things that you remember from the final walkout of the WGI
walking
arena?
out, the thing that I remember the most was like like the standing ovation and like everyone walking, like basically throwing themselves over the show. I was so happy, so glad that like we got the reaction we did, because our goal honestly was to just be in finals and like to also just be the fan favorite, and I'm glad that we achieved that. And goal is that's one thing checked off. And then like
goal achieved.
I'd say this is more like like outside the arena on the floor, finally have time to like just breathe a little more. Like when I got a chance to look at my phone and I saw the video that was posted by Flo Marching and like how many views it was, I was like so in shock at that point. Did not know how to react. Like my teammates kept jokingly come up to me and were like, Fran, how does it feel to be the face of WGI right now? And I'm just like, I don't know. But like, yeah, that was like some of the highlights of finals for me that night.
Was there anybody in particular that you connected with, or is it all just a big blur right now?
Connected with? Honestly,
I saw this person, I saw that person, I saw so and so from this guard, or is it just such a blur you can't even remember who was in the audience?
Yeah, TBH, I just can't really remember. I remember like since like people were doing like the bracelet things, I have a couple on my wrist right now, but like they would start, some kids like were actually throwing them into my arms or into my hands as I was walking by, which was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. Well, Francesca, we want to thank you so much for being on the sidelines here with us at On a Water Break. We appreciate your magnificent performance last weekend with Vox, and we hope to see you next season on the floor again, and hopefully back on this podcast with us again.
That was such a great interview. She's such a dedicated performer. I mean, she's really dedicated to her craft. She's dedicated to her team. You know, she's not looking to build her skills and go elsewhere or anything like that. She is a Vox performer, and she's here to stay.
Lovely.
She loves it.
It's just a lovely kid. Yeah, absolutely. So, Jackie, if we could just, this was an incredible Dayton, Colorguard Dayton. I'm sad we actually get to miss Drumline and Wins Dayton. It just didn't work out from a scheduling standpoint. We're so proud of all of the teams that performed this past weekend for Percussion and Wins. We had some of our own clients. If I could give a plug, we had all the Matrixes, who are all incredible. Cranston Combined Schools from Rhode Island, Francis Howell High School, which I believe is from Missouri, Jackie.
From Missouri, that's what I'm
From Missouri, yeah. And Milford High School from Ohio. I mean, and I just have to give so much love. We had some incredible Pennsylvania teams. Springford High School won Scholastic A marching percussion, and I will never not give love to our local groups. But Jackie, just an incredible weekend. Some high emotions. The whole AMP thing was very unexpected and emotional.
Yeah.
You know, Fusion Winter Guard, you know, from New Jersey, and just so much, but just an incredible weekend. And I said in our group chat, by the way, we have a On a Water Break group chat. There's multiple, I think. I said on my group chat.
There's so many On a Water Break group chats.
So many. I don't even think I'm on the most VIP
that reminds
one.
Me, there is a group of On a Water Break hosts who are at WGI Percussion and Wins weekend, so you guys will be hearing from them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
episode soon. So make sure you listen for that.
But I will say that I said in one of our group chats that this has been one of the most memorable WGIs that I've been to in the better part of 25 years because of this experience. All of us being together. Showday Designs coming together with On a Water Break to provide this sort of live in the moment and after the moment content, which I think is so important because what we're doing is we're just celebrating and highlighting these incredible performers, these incredible designers, their staff, the volunteers, the staff at WGI. We just want to give all of them their just desserts, if you will, Jackie.
So our listeners, of course, now that we've been talking about this for the whole episode, they want to come and find Showday Designs. So how do they follow you guys? How do they get in touch? If they want to become clients, how do we make that happen?
Please, first of all, thank you to Jeremy, Jackie, the entire team for helping to build our social media presence. Jackie, we showed up in Dayton with 400 followers, and we now have, I think, over 1,700. So that's... Look, we may not be Kim K, but we're doing our best. So we're so grateful just for the amazing outpouring of love because of the content and the partnership that we've created together. Mostly you guys have created and have shared with us. But on Instagram, we're at Showday Designs, all spelled out. Email us at info@showdaydesigns.com. Our phone number is 215-994-3199. If you want to call us, please reach out. Our goal is to just create, provide, and, just give the most incredible, wonderful, unique, beautiful performance wear, flags, band tops, vinyl props, anything we can. Our goal is to just give and produce and provide just the most beautiful products we can for our clients.
And I have an example right here.
Please,
This is a Showday. This is a Showday flag right behind me. This is our Eclipse flag. that you guys, I don't even know when you guys printed it, and it ended up being sold through Guard Closet. And I was like, hey, we're doing a color guard specifically for the 2024 eclipse. Let's go. And here we are. So Showday, it is a really beautiful flag, and it's a beautiful design and lovely quality. And seriously, it looked so good out there. I definitely can vouch for you guys. Everything I've seen coming out of Showday has been.
We're very proud, and we're very, and anyone that knows Joe, and I think I said this on the last podcast, but anyone that knows Joe Heiniger, a very humble, gracious, and wonderful human being who does not insist upon himself in the way that I encourage him to be. Joe Heiniger is one of the best designers in costuming, flags, and show design in our area. All those years that Black Watch was a finalist, Norway, Santa Clara Vanguard, the Glassman, who doesn't remember and love the Glassman?
The Glassman. Oh.
Hello. The Crossman, the Phantom Regiment, just someone who is so unbelievably talented, who just wants to make our activity beautiful. So please reach out to us, info@showdaydesigns.com, at Showday Designs on Instagram. And thank you, Jackie, Jeremy, and the On a Water Break podcast for giving us the opportunity to highlight what we do and for sharing in that incredible week and weekend in Dayton for Color Guard Championships.
Well, Bobbey, thank you for coming with me on this adventure. We need to get back on the road and get home because I got a little toddler who's waiting for me. So,
no.
One more thing, don't forget, we have our YouTube channel. It has many of our interviews coming out as full video editions. I have got my background set up just for this, I just gotta say. Make sure you go and subscribe so you don't miss those. And then before you close out of your podcast listening app, go ahead and subscribe, write us a review, share this with a friend, follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we'll see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
Let's go!
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Reams. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.